Hey, what is up, guys? It is Chris from the WWFu Internetwork here again with another WWFu review. This time we're doing it right after the show, so let's just get started. Basically, tonight was a great show from TNA. TNA Slammiversary took place from Arlington, Texas for a groundbreaking TNA show, groundbreaking attendance. Overall, just put a good taste in everyone's mouth. That is something TNA rarely does. Yes, I'm saying TNA definitely had a show of the year contender at this point. This was a solid show. So basically, we kicked off the show with Hulk Hogan coming out to hype up the crowd. You know, who's better to hype up crowds than Hulk Hogan? But that basically led to our X Division title match between Austin Aries and Samoa Joe. Basically, this was how X Division matches should be. This was a fantastic match. It was just so well done. Both men should really put their heads up high for this match. This was, right off the bat, one of the matches of the night. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Everything about it. There were some good spots. It wasn't too spotty, but it was still good. And I gave it 3 3/4, almost 4 stars. It was a great match. Austin Aries ended up retaining, and I think he main events the next show because that's Destination X. So who knows where that's going to go. Maybe he'll take on the TNA champion in like a champion versus champion thing, but who knows. We'll find out later. Next we had Kash taking on Hernandez. This was kind of a thrown together match that was pretty good, actually. There was one spot Hernandez just jumped out of the ring like a freaking fish, and he almost killed himself. And it was insane, and I marked out like a little bitch. I loved it. Hernandez, I've always been a fan of because, you know, LAX. Kash never really cared for, but this was an okay match. It wasn't too bad for a match that was basically used as a filler. So I gave it 2 3/4. It was a good match. Nothing special, but it definitely had something to it, if you know what I mean. I personally thought for a thrown together match, this definitely, I liked it, you know, and that's kind of a rare one for me, but Hernandez ended up picking up the victory. So let's move on to the next match, which was Robbie E and Robbie T taking on Bischoff and Devon. This was probably one of the okay matches of the night. This was an alright match. Garrett Bischoff did pretty well for himself. It was a good showing by Garrett Bischoff. If some of you may know, I am not a big fan of Garrett Bischoff. I don't like him at all. And then, you know, even Devon had a good showing. And then, you know, of course, the characters of Robbie E and Robbie T, no one really necessarily cares about them anymore. Okay match, 2.5 stars. Nothing special. Next, we had a match that I was surprised was so early on the card, but kind of happy it was. It was Jeff Hardy taking on Mr. Anderson, taking on Rob Van Dam. This was probably third best match of the night. I really enjoyed this one. You know, of course, you have 3 seasoned veterans going into this match, and it wasn't necessarily ridiculously spotty. There were some appropriate spots thrown in here and there. It just, all in all, was a very, very good match. I do like that Mr. Anderson ended up picking up the victory. I guess TNA's putting more confidence in Mr. Anderson again. They did it once before. He ended up becoming champion, and I do enjoy seeing Mr. Anderson win matches. I do enjoy him being put into world title pictures, so we can only go so far from here. And I gave this match 3.5 stars. Good stuff. Next, we had Crimson giving an open challenge. This challenge was opened by James Storm. James Storm got the quick roll-up and ended the, I think it was somewhere in the 40-week area, somewhere around there, of Crimson being undefeated. And that was great. I kind of liked that James Storm was the guy to do it, but there was really no star rating for this match. It was basically a dud. Next, this wasn't a match, but we had Dixie Carter come out and announce that Sting would be the first inductee into TNA's Hall of Fame. I don't personally agree with this. I really feel it should be AJ Styles or Jeff Jarrett. But, you know, they wouldn't induct AJ Styles because of the storyline, probably. And they wouldn't induct Jeff Jarrett, well, I really don't know why. I still think he should have been the first inductee. But, they did induct Sting. It was a cool moment. Everyone's happy for Sting. I'm happy for Sting. I like Sting a lot. And, if it had to be someone besides AJ and Jeff Jarrett, why not be Sting? So that was a cool moment. Next, we had Miss Tessmacher taking on Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. Basically, Miss Tessmacher got it. What else is new? Every Knockout's probably held that title like 3 times now. This was a dud. I didn't care about this match. I ended up staring at Miss Tessmacher's ass more than anything. The God honest truth, I really did not care about this match. Miss Tessmacher won. If Velvet Sky and or Mickie James aren't involved in the Knockouts title picture, I really do not care. Next, we had Bully Ray taking on Joseph Park, and surprisingly, this was probably one of the more hyped matches of the show. And for entertainment value, it was probably the best match of the show. This was ridiculously funny. Everyone I know enjoyed it. This was basically just a good, funny match, and that's something. It's almost refreshing, almost. Because TNA, the serious wrestling, then they put a match on like this, kind of lightens the mood. I liked it. I didn't rate it that high. I gave it 2.5, but I liked it a lot. And it's a match I'd watch to laugh. I really did enjoy it. Entertainment-wise, I'd probably give it like 4.5. But wrestling-wise, 2.5. So yeah. Next we had the return of Christian Cage, which I had no idea why he came back. I guess it was just for a name drop. But it wasn't really anything special. And I personally didn't care for it. I thought it was kind of stupid, if anything. But, yet again, it's TNA just trying to give a name drop. It's kind of like, why not? But he was only out there for 5 seconds. And he was only out there to announce the number 1 moment in TNA history, which was Sting coming back to TNA, or debuting in TNA, like his first match in the U.S. in years. That's, like, I don't know when that was. Just blanking out on that, but it was kind of random with Christian Cage coming out. He didn't get a ridiculously big reaction, but it was still cool to see Christian, but I personally didn't care, to be honest. Next, we had Christopher Daniels and Kazarian taking on Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, which was match of the night, no doubt about it. I loved this match. This match was freaking awesome. AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Christopher Daniels, and Kazarian are the 4 most talented guys on the TNA roster. And they all got to come out here and showcase that. Freaking AJ Styles going off, doing a shooting star press out of nowhere. Angle doing insane German suplexes. Kazarian kicking the shit out of people. Christopher Daniels just doing insane spots. This match was awesome. 4 stars. I loved the ending of Angle and AJ Styles capturing the tag belts. I loved it. Match of the night. No doubt about it. Then we have the main event of Robert Roode taking on Sting. This was a good match for what it was. I don't know if it was the best match they've ever had, but it was definitely up there. I gave it 3 stars. I like the ending. I like that Robert Roode won in a heelish type way. I think that added to his character, even though he didn't really need any more additions, but I did enjoy the match. But then, Sting went on to go beat down Robert Roode, and I guess it's kind of continuing the feud. It's going to result in probably one more match, but I did like the fact that Robert Roode did retain. Overall, TNA Slammiversary was 8 out of 10. Solid show. Thank you, TNA. Peace, guys.